the smoke-ins that were happening all over the Capitol, Richard Nixon decided that he was going to have marijuana classified as a level 1 drug, Schedule 1 drug. And what that means is it's in the same category, it's categorized as cocaine.
What?
No.
Yes, and heroin. Excuse me, but it is still that way today.
Are you serious?
No.
So
that's why it's not.
So let me ask you. Before Nixon, what was it was a culture, right? And it was just everybody was.
Well, what
he
happened,
put it into a.
What happened was it had always had a stigma. You know, had from the 20s.
He smokes weed.
They associated with immigrants, Mexicans bringing it over the border, jazz players, black jazz players in the 30s and the 40s. Reefer Madness was a movie.
Yes.
When you smoked it, everybody went crazy.
Yeah.
But it's really about government. If you know what's going on in the government, you can follow this. Well, what was going on? The end of Prohibition came. What are you going to do with all these men and their jobs? So the very bureau that tracked down liquor, he became an ardent, I can't even think of the man's name, but marijuana became his enemy. Now, and then couple that with Richard Nixon actually putting it on the schedule, making it all these student advocates and protesters criminals overnight. We became criminals overnight. So
for marijuana.
So now then you have say no. And how did that work out?
When the liquor, some people
number 1 drug.
You know, and they were actually
Let me tell you, Miss Rose, I live on Logan Circle. I can see people at the pharmacists go to CVS, and I'm walking behind them. They go right in. We have 10 liquor stores. Love them. Hi, peace out to the liquor stores, but they can go straight. They can go straight from the doctor, get a pain pill, go straight to the liquor store, and that's okay because the liquor industry, and you know, we could talk about this all night, but there is a book, 420, the birthday of Steve's D'Angelo, is called the Cannabis Manifesto. And it really gives you an idea of where we are. And people say, why didn't Barack Obama take it off the Schedule 1? Come on. Barack Obama couldn't wear a pin upside down without being called a traitor.
Right.
But what he did do was left that it should be researched. Not only did they put it on Schedule 1, but it denied research firms. So what people will say is this, like they say with climate change. I'm not a scientist. They'll say there's no research. Well, there's no research a lot. But I want to talk about today and how we can use this medical marijuana and the difference. So in terms of the law, you need 2 proofs of residency, a government ID. That's it. Wow. And the fees associated with the doctor and the fees to DOH. And it is a very private process covered under HIPAA. And there have been no breaches in terms of your name. Because here's how I was paranoid. I thought everybody was looking at me and I was going to be in the newspaper for applying for a medical marijuana card.
You know, people have the wrong perception on that. I had someone tell me, because I directed them to you. And I had someone to tell me that if you get registered for a card, that you can lose your job.
Okay, now Rose, that's a little tricky one now. You can lose your job.
Wow.
No, that one is a little tricky. There are certain jobs in the federal government in which you get a drug test. And as long as marijuana, medical or otherwise, is considered a Schedule 1 drug, you can get, especially if that is in your contract. It depends on what type of drug. Transportation, the Parks and Rec. However, there's
not a cashier.
Oh yeah, unless you're a cashier,
a janitor. I'm going to throw a couple out there.
No, excuse me, but
It could
janitors.
be an at-risk job. Janitors.
Oh,
No, janitors.
Cannabis
Because
for your knee.
if you work for the nuclear,
Your back.
if you work for a top secret, and you have a top secret clearance. Now, there are always exceptions to that rule. We have teachers that, or if you have a human resource department that really understands. Also, we've clarified it with students. At first, students were having a hard time, particularly if they lived on campus. However, we have students that are part of the program. A lot of times they have to agree not to smoke, and that's important. People think that you have to smoke marijuana. That is not true now. And there are two types. You can have indica is what we use at night, sativa is during the day, but most is hybrid.
Wow.
And so there's an array. So we have right now oil. If someone like a senior citizen wants to, for example, if you're older and you don't have an appetite, remember the old munchies?
Yeah.
You can get strains of flour or oil or drops, tincture, in which you drop it in your tea. So you get up, you have your tea, you drop in your tea, and it gives you the munchies. So you want to eat breakfast. Once you eat breakfast, you're more.
I gotta get me a
call it-
card.
that's the
So like I really have to
That's
get
the
me
skinny
a card
weed.
because I had a
That's
spinal
like
cord
skinny
injury.
weed.
You know, I was telling you
That's
that.
skinny.
Yeah.
That's
And yeah.
Excuse me, but you know we have a strain now that you lose weight.
I need that. I just need it all.
No.
I
Wait,
just.
wait.
How many
Come on now.
alternatives? I haven't heard that. There's
Oh
a
yeah,
strain.
there's several strains. In other words, THCVA
Yes,
is
THCV, you are correct.
is another cannabinoid that I was using a certain oil tincture, but I was losing my appetite. And then when the bud tender said, "Look, this has an appetite suppressant." So when it says what are the biggest misconceptions, that you can't lose weight, that's not true, because you can use those products that have THCVA that will curb your appetite. So this is space stuff, and I don't want to not go, because so many of the questions that we get, about how to sound up, I think that's important, and where to go. Come to us, Herbal Alternatives. You've been there. You know,
Number one.
We work with
I tell
our patients.
everybody.
how many strains?
Right now, we have about 88 different strains. Anything from high THC to no THC and only CBD for pain. We have oil, liquid, wax, resin.
Edibles.
We have
Wow.
edibles, which is really for people that are not familiar. That's a good way. Say you're doing a cancer treatment. You have MS. You have look. I can think of every disease on the planet, and I can't think of one that medical marijuana would not help. I lay my life on this drug that's been with us, for ancient times.
Yes.
What is the most common? People would come in and as far as I don't like to say ailment, but I mean ailment. I mean
I think
kind of.
I think pain. Pain, because pain can come from so many different ailments, and when people are in pain, they're depressed.
Yes.
You're going to be happy when you're in hurt.
Right.
So in that pain, you get a wide range of folks that come in for so many things you've never even thought about. And we also have balm where you can
Rub it on your skin.
Rub it on your skin. People don't have to ingest. We actually have spray for folks that mini dose and they need to dose at work. We have with epilepsy, we have folks that have incidents every few days or every 50 days or whatever. When they are on CBD, it is amazing. It's a miracle. It's a miracle joke. But there's so many things that we have to get over. And one of them, and for young people, they get over it. Once they come and they see that it's good, they bring their friends. And I tell you, it's great. Because when you have, we were someplace, and in fact, I have